Hi, it's Laura from Letsxcape States, and today I'm going to be interviewing Anthony from Letsxcape Together Games Cafe. Come and join me. Hi Anthony.
Hi Laura.
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Just wanted to interview you and ask you a few questions about your business.
That's fantastic, yeah, go for it.
How long has your business been running for?
So Letsxcape Together, we've been running for about 6 years, and we originally started where the Tambo Lounge is now, down Chain Lane, and we've been here now about 5 years in the Butter Market.
That's great. So why did you decide to open the cafe?
There's several reasons why we decided to open. On a personal level, as you can see behind us here, my personal passion is playing games. Saying that, we originally started as a business partnership with another guy called Nigel Cat, and he had a couple of escape rooms, and we thought it seemed to be a good fit in terms of providing something different for Newark. I think in terms of a business perspective, we both felt that there was a good opportunity for something a little bit different in the town of Newark itself.
And what do you enjoy most about your business?
There are several things really. I think one of the key ones though is the variety of customers that we have. We have such a lovely audience who joins us, and generally speaking they're quite creative people, which very much fits with the kind of environment that we have here in the cafe. I think one of the other things that I'm quite passionate about is giving opportunities for young people to come into the workplace really.
So is that like, for you, is that like offering young people like the first job, right?
Absolutely it is. I think getting your first experience in the business world is quite hard, I think, when you're a young person, and we try and encourage it in a very relaxed way that's encouraging for people to then take the next step wherever they're going to go next.
Yeah, that's great. So why do you think customers like coming into your cafe?
I think there are several reasons. I think one of the first ones is the environment that we have here. I'm sure you'll show it later on. We feel we've got a lovely, warm, inviting space that we really thought about when we designed the unit. The unit itself was empty when we took it on. So we've designed it that it's very welcoming at the front part of the cafe for people who just enjoy coffee. And then we get quirkier as you come further down into the cafe, as you can see behind where the games are more available. And I think that's tied with that is the variety of our offerings. That whilst we do offer games as one of our key ideas, we do have several other things that we encourage as well.
Do you mind just giving some examples of like what you offer?
Yes, superb. Yeah, so we've got an art group. We have that once a month by a fantastic artist called Vanessa Stone. She's local. We also support the local writers group, the Foxwell writers. They meet here. And in fact, we've had several book signings from some of their members, which is brilliant. We also have a friendship group as well on a Wednesday in the morning. And in fact, I think we're just about to start supporting a lady who's going to be running Italian lessons from here. So I think whilst we started off with the idea that we were a board game cafe, we feel we're very much now a space for people who are creative.
Yeah, lots going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think really underpinning all of that is the quality of the coffee as well. I don't mind saying, because it's what our customers say, is that we're one of the best coffees on offer in the town, which is superb. We use a local company called Stokes's, they're from Lincoln. In fact, they've now got their own cafe restaurant in town, which is great. Whilst we've got all of these offerings going off, I do think the quality of our staff is superb. They're very aware of what our core values are in terms of offering a very consistent, warm and welcome environment that's quite relaxed.
Definitely agree with all of that, because I come in here all the time.
Thanks, Laura.
What do you think is the best advice you could give to someone just starting up their own business?
It's a bit of a tough question, that one, because obviously every business is different. But I think we learnt some, what I feel are fairly universal ideas with businesses. I think the first thing is you have to be very passionate about what you're offering. I think from my previous experiences and other jobs, it certainly supported me in realising that if you're not passionate about what you offer, then the people who you're aiming your business at don't see the value in that offering. And then really that the value that you offer is the thing that brings financial benefits. I think some businesses probably go with too much of a focus on money to start with, without actually realising what their business is all about. So be very passionate about what your offering is. And from that, I think you've got to be very sensible as well. Most of the things that we have in the cafe now are probably second hand or things that we bought as we've gone along. We've always worked very tightly on a budget. I think my feeling is if some businesses spend too much money very early on, that they're always chasing to pay their debts, and as such it's just not a very positive environment for the people, well, for the business owners. And within that, I think what you set out your business to be at the start can often turn out to be different as you go along. So being adaptable. On the face of it, you might consider that we're just a board game cafe, and I think whilst we knew that was going to be one of our key drivers, and that we would benefit from the sale of the coffees and the food that we offer, that probably wasn't going to be alone enough to actually sustain the business. Hence why we do things for different community groups of Newark, like the writers and the art groups and things. So whatever you think your business is going to be, you need to be able to adapt to the environment that you've created and what your guests kind of want. And I think finally it's investing in people. When we started, there was just 3 of us. We actually took on friends and children of friends, young people, but we always felt that it was important that they had a good experience, whatever stage we were of the business. And I think we've carried that through now. Like yourself, Lauren, I've known you a long time, but we think that people are important, and that they value what they're offering for our guests and get some value back themselves. So investing in people and staff is really important too.
I'm interested to know if there's anything you'd do differently if you were to start the business again?
Yeah, there is. I mean, as I said earlier, we very much worked on a very tight budget, and I think those budget constraints have impacted on how we've developed the business. I think whilst all businesses hope they're going to grow, I don't think we probably anticipated growing as much as we have. So where we are now, the facilities are quite limited. So for instance, because we're a listed building, to put in a formal kitchen would be just astronomical, and it just wouldn't be feasible. So I think we'd probably consider how we designed our space when we took this unit on, because it was empty when we took it on. We'd probably consider it a bit more. And I think looking back when we first started the business 6 years ago, both myself, Nigel and Lucy, who now owns the business with me, we were all doing different jobs at the same time. So whilst it would have been a very brave move, I think maybe to fully commit to the business and give it 100% rather than kind of split our attentions would have maybe progressed the business much quicker than it has.
Did you do any other jobs beforehand that you think helped you within opening the business?
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly what we've created here feels like it's been the culmination of lots of things I've done before. So for instance, I was a school teacher for many years, and I think that kind of management of a space, how things move around, and certainly how to converse and make people feel relaxed has been important. We're saying that even in previous roles, I was involved in the pharmaceutical business for 15 years, and as part of that I worked in the business development unit, managing contracts and negotiations. And I was lucky enough to do a part-time degree actually when I worked. It was for Boots actually, and I think that gave me very much a grounding in how I felt business worked and how it could be developed, and also how to kind of keep it very personal and make the customer or guests feel that they're very much involved in the business that you've created.
Got a variety of experience.
Yeah, quite a bit.
So what would you say you love most about Newark?
On a personal level, I grew up in Newark, so for me it's a very special place. I often have to pinch myself really that I've now got a business in what is a very historic building for the town. And I think that probably leads nicely to that wider context of Newark having almost a hidden history. Certainly its geographical position in the country has made it very important in the past, right from the Roman times, through the medieval period, right up to the kind of industrial component where brewing was a very important part of Newark's identity. I mean, I always like to drop in, there's a nice little fact that Newark has more listed buildings than York, which again leads to the idea that probably Newark has a hidden history that more people could value and it could be made a lot more of. And I think the community of Newark itself is fantastic as well. Certainly since we've started the business, we've become aware of so many things that happen in the town through different community-led groups, that there's always something to do, which is superb. And from maybe a business aspect, certainly where I think part of the future of Newark lies is in the strength of its independent businesses. There are several hospitality offerings which are ranging from a kind of your national brands through to mid-level to people like ourselves who are independent. And there are also quite a few small independent business offerings as well, which I think certainly adds to Newark's uniqueness as a place for people to come and stay.
So if you were to pick one thing in Newark, what would you say is like a hidden gem in Newark?
It's a great question, Lauren, and it's quite a difficult one to answer. And I've thought about this for a while, but I think really it's the people of Newark. The people make places. And I think the thing about Newark is it's got such a rich tradition of heritage, which is superb. But I also think the people who are living here now are fantastic too. And you put those two things together and it makes Newark quite a special place, really.
You can see by the community in the cafe. Absolutely.
We have a great variety of people from all parts of the country and all different identities, and that's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day today.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Lauren. Thank you.
Really demonstrated to the audience also the uniqueness of Newark and why Newark's a place to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Come and visit us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.